Hey, so welcome to another of Miscellaneous Musings from Javier, the maker of Javier in the Air. You should go watch that. Anyway, here's a short version. I have been watching a lot of reels in the background when I'm doing other things. And one of the things I saw was this young Vietnamese woman who makes all these different things for market. And then she goes to market and she sells it and comes back and has either bought new things to make for the next time she goes to market, or she goes out into the jungles of Vietnam and goes and picks up whatever. And she has a plethora of stuff out there that she can choose from. I've seen her pick limes and different types of stone fruits and different types of plums, and then I've also seen her do a bunch of different multicolored rice cakes and everything. So anyway, I've been looking to try to find things for meal prep, and I saw one that she did called creamy egg cakes. So I was like, okay, let me try it. So here is this time's miscellaneous musings for creamy egg cake. Okay, so I have eggs, some sorting bowls, lettuce, shredded carrot, and some green onions, and some breakfast sausage. I am going to try something called Vietnamese creamy egg cake is what they call it, but it ain't a cake, so I'll tell you as I do it. Okay, so I have 12 eggs, yolks, 12 egg whites, mixed them up. Now to make some thin pancakes out of them. All right, so what we have here is that you get your frying pan really hot, put in a drop of oil or butter, depending on which way you want to do it, and then you roll the yolk around the pan. So you want to put you try to make it as thin as you can, not too thin because you want to be able to roll it, but you don't want to make it too thick because then it gets really thick roll. Unfortunately, I don't have the knack for this yet. So I rolled mine pretty thick, and I wound up just making three big ones. And so this one was actually the first one, and it was pretty thick. And here is the first one after I cook it. So the pan is really hot. You cook it on one side, you flip it over, you cook it on the other side, and then you put it on a plate, which I put a napkin under to soak up all the excess oil. So then you have to add oil again to do it. Now here is the same thing, but with the egg white. So the egg white I did a little bit better. I tried to go thinner, but then the problem was I think she uses her fingers to just pull the cake off of the pan and turn it over, almost like a crepe, which I've actually made crepes before. And after I did this, I was like, why didn't I do it that way? Anyway, so these were a little bit thinner. I still made three, so the last two were actually kind of thick, and this was actually the first one. The other two are underneath. I wanted to show the better one first, even though I ripped this one. So now let's go to the video. Okay, so here we have it. So what I did was, and I don't know why I didn't, I know why I didn't show this because I didn't have a camera stand to put my phone on. But what you did was you put one of the egg white pancakes, one of the yellow pancakes overlapping just a little bit, maybe an inch or so. And then you apply the mixture of breakfast sausage, shredded carrots. I added lettuce and green onions. I think the young lady used something else, but I don't remember what it was, and I didn't have the video. So, and I had some fresh lettuce, so I put the lettuce there. So you lay it on there, you roll it up together so that it's really tight. You wrap it in cling wrap, and then you wind up taking that cling wrap and using a hot bowl to boil over, and you'll see what I did here. Okay, so here we have. Hopefully this will stay here as I put these in. And now I will find the lid. There's the lid. And I will mark it down. And I'm gonna cook it for 40 minutes. There we go. And we'll see how it turns out. So what I'm expecting is a nice, like a roll, almost like a Swiss roll type of thing, but it's using egg whites and egg yolks, shredded carrots, green onions, lettuce, breakfast sausage. And then what that's going to do for me, that's going to be my protein for the week. And when it comes out and it's solid and it's all baked, it's all cooked, I should say, then I'm going to cut it up into pinwheels, and then I'll have 1 or 2 pinwheels a day. Okay, so here we have it. This is one of the final ones unwrapped, as you see. And now I'm going to pause for a minute so I can cut it. And here you have it. So, trying to get us out of the light. Fantastic. They turned out great. Okay, so here's a close-up shot of it. As I mentioned before, after it came out of the steamer, I went ahead and unwrapped it, let it rest for a bit. I didn't say that in the other video, but I let it rest for a bit so that it cooled down. Made sure that it looked good and solid, and that the meat breakfast sausage was definitely cooked all the way through. And then I also patted it down a little bit with paper towel because it did get a little bit wet from the steaming. So then I cut them up into pinwheels and I put it into my container. And I lied. I'm actually eating 3 or so a day, and that has been my protein for the week. And it turned out fantastic. I used the spicy breakfast sausage. If you like to use that instead, you definitely could. I think the young lady used ground beef of some sort, but I kicked it up a notch. There's also any variants you can do with this, but it was really easy to do. Okay, so there you have it, the Vietnamese creamy egg cakes. I don't know what the creamy part is. I don't remember her putting some sort of sauce in there, so I don't know where the creamy comes from, but it was definitely fantastic. Great amount of protein in there, great amount of little vegetables in there, the green onions, the shredded carrots, and the lettuce are a fantastic mix. And like I said, you can mix it up however you want. If you wanna do ground beef, I think like the young Vietnamese lady did from the reel that I saw, by all means do that. If you want to use ground turkey, you want to use ground chicken, stay away from the ground chicken, but ground turkey maybe. That'll be great. So then you can do it. You can also make it, vegetarian option, and you just use tofu if you like tofu, or impossible meat. Either of them. I don't do either of them. So it's up to you how you want to make a vegetarian mix. You need to have some sort of base to go with the vegetables so that when you steam them, it becomes a solid, and then it becomes like a pinwheel. Otherwise, if you don't have something like, well, I used meat, but if you have something the equivalent for vegetarian or vegan options, you need to have something that will perhaps do the same thing, which is to bind the vegetables together so when you cut it into pinwheels, they don't just go and they all just come out. So definitely do it. I steamed it. I actually wound up. I set it for 40 minutes, but I wound up steaming it for 45 because I wanted to be err on the side of caution in case I was off. Also to make sure, because I rolled them really thick, I wanted to make sure that it cooked all the way throughout. And then I let it rest, like I said, mopped it, kind of dabbed it with paper towels, and let it sit there for about 20 minutes before I did the cutting. I wanted it to be a little bit cool before I cut, again, to help the solidity of it. So any way you want to do it. Also, if you want to do something that's not a savory thing, I'm sure you can do something sweet. Pinwheels are known throughout this universe and beyond, I'm sure. And you can just make pinwheels with just about anything. But I think this turned out great. It's a really good breakfast option. If you're looking for something that will help you on the go, that's protein, you can make these. I think altogether it probably hour and a half. Probably be quicker next time because I know what I'm doing. You have all the ingredients ready to go. You can put it all together, and away you go. You get the pot boiling. Stick a pot or bowl there so that it doesn't sit in the water, and then you steam them, and it's fantastic. And you can make as many or as little as you want. Use it for your protein throughout the week. You're welcome for the tip. This has been Javier with his miscellaneous musings on the Vietnamese creamy egg cake. I apologize to the Vietnamese people for um, probably getting it all wrong, cook wise, but it was a fantastic idea that I ran with, and it worked out. So I'll see you again next time. Thanks a lot, everybody.